Arooj Aftab is an artist from Pakistan who I stumbled upon recently with her album here. She has 2 albums before this actually, but I hadn't heard them. But I've heard this new one and I'm glad I bloody did. Vulture Prince isn't quite as harsh as it sounds, really. I feel like Vulture Prince gives off some kind of dark and Vulture, but the album is actually kind of the opposite of that. There are some, you know, somber, solemn moments, but generally this album is filled with beauty. Sorry for the banging noise there, that was not me. Baghon Main is the opening track, immediately sets up the tone. You know what you're gonna get. It's very sparse and solemn, as I said, but it doesn't lack any beauty. It's a very touching opening track, and I say this a lot with albums that successfully evoke emotion out of you when they are, you know, not in your own native language or a language that you don't understand yourself, but basically the lyrics and the lack of understanding of the language that Arooj is singing in does not really affect my enjoyment or how beautiful this track sounds. It's very much an Ichiko Aoba way to start an album, just a very, very simple, well, not simple because it can't be simple to make a track like this, but just at the core, what's going on musically is pretty straightforward. But what can't be replicated is just that instantaneous attachment you get to Arooj's voice. It's so, so gorgeous. And I feel like the tone of her voice hits some deep, you know, baritone notes occasionally, but it doesn't really take away from how fantastic she is. It's heavenly, even though, you know, she doesn't sound angelic, if you know what I mean. She doesn't have an angelic voice, but it's certainly how I imagine heaven to be like, and I feel as though not many artists can do that. Inayaat or Inayaat, not sure how you say this, probably going to butcher a few of the pronunciations. Very much reminds me of Shai Ben Sur, who is an artist that you should absolutely be getting onto. Junun, what an album, by the way. Oh my god, what an album, never fails. It has Johnny Greenwood on it. If that's not enough to get you Radiohead nerds on that album, then I don't know what's going to get you to listen to it. Beautiful vocals, once again. Really can't say enough about the vocals. I should probably keep, you know, away from mentioning the vocals for every track because they just are stunning. Love the way the light percussion just softly builds. Honestly, it's really effective and it's not too jarring or anything like that because there isn't a huge amount of percussion across this whole album. But the way it just kind of like starts to hatch, I feel, is sort of like a slowly, you know, hatching bird coming from an egg, just, you know, about to experience life. And this is what this percussion sounds like. How it sounds like that, I don't know. Love the dub touch and dub, you know, instrumental on Last Night. Very out of nowhere, but it really works. And I think what makes it work is that there's still like a jazzy sheen to the song, like the quality of the track still stays true to how the other tracks sound, and yet this extra layer of dub that comes really out of nowhere manages to remain consistent with the album somehow. Runtime doesn't become an issue at all here, and yet she's, you know, going along for like 5.5 minutes on this track. And again, I think the fact that she just has a fantastic voice and carries this track really well with really stunning melody that to go with it as well. Yeah, I just think everything comes together really well. Saans Low is so stripped back. Once again, it's a moment where the vocals do take a shine, but the track itself is much more barer. I'll have to look that up. I think I need to know which one it is. Her voice really greatly impacts you on this track because it really is just left to take the full control, the full take your full attention. The vocals take a driving seat, and compared to other artists that might do a song like this, and if you're not that connected to the voice, you can just be like, okay, everything sounds good, you know, everything is good, but you're not attached to it, and it just kind of leaves you going, okay, this isn't really that impactful. But as I've said, because Arooj has just one of those voices that I just gravitate towards, it makes this song work so well. Interestingly, the catchiest, I don't know if it's catchy, if that's the right word, but the most, I guess, earwormy melody is saved for the last track. I think this track is actually one of the best produced songs here. It's subtle, but again, really manages to work its way into your ears. The instruments are just so clear in the mix as well. Like you never feel like anything's getting left behind or anything's just, you know, taking a bit of a back seat. Like everything just feels like in its right place. The mixing is so good. Her voice sounds great over this track too. Just a really strong way to close out. Interesting as well, like I say, because you could expect the track Saans low to close things out, because it is like the slower track or the ballady type track. But I like the way that she ends like this. It really makes the album end in a memorable way. And the album was already memorable. It was already memorable up until that point, but really well sequenced and structured album in terms of the track listing. This is great. This is just such a Ryan core album. The minute I heard about this and saw like the genre tags, I was like, yeah, mate, this is for me. And it was, and I'm happy that it did that, because it could have just been like, oh, okay, this is fine, but no, this is one of my favorite albums of the year. Really wonderful stuff. If it's not a name you recognize, I do hope you clicked on the video anyway to get a recommendation. That's what I want this channel to be about, because I do believe this is going to be one of the best albums of the year by the end of the year. Certainly one of my favorites as well. So hopefully you check it out. 8.5 out of 10, easily one of my favorites. Haven't given many of those this year actually, or even 8s in general. Like anything above 8's been pretty slim, which is kind of weird because we're at May. We're almost at May. We're not at May yet, but we're almost at May. And I definitely had more albums I loved at this point last year, but it doesn't matter, because the ones I do love, I'm loving, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, really stunning. Listen to this, please listen to this. Go support Arooj Aftab on social media, support her, follow her, buy the music, everything like that. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts if you have heard this. Have a good day, subscribe, and goodbye.